There, traders and friends right around the world. This particular video goes out to all of the perma bulls out there following such stocks such as Disney, HD, and Target, even Starbucks and Gilead for that matter. The reason for this and the intention for this video is to alert you to some very strong instances of bearish divergence taking place on these individual stocks, not even to mention the overall broader market indices, but just to reference again bearish divergence on these individual trading stocks, individually traded equities on the US financial markets. Here we are having a look at Disney. You can see right now, you can see price continues to make a series of higher highs and higher lows. Everything looks good on the face value of the stock of Disney. However, when you have a look at the MACD, the stochastics, and the RSI, the most recent swing high has not correlated in a swing high in the MACD. You can see again, you see that lower swing high in reference to the higher swing high in price. This is telling you be careful. Reversal is just around the corner. It may not work out as a full-on reversal, but at least a sideways market move on the stock price of Disney. If you are holding short-term call options on Disney, you should really consider exiting out of those short-term call positions because the theta is going to eat you alive. You can see shooting star candlestick. You've got the formings of even, let me just change my color of my candlestick pen drawing tool right here. You've got the formations of even an evening star reversal candlestick pattern right here, waiting for confirmation below this candlestick on the 26th of March 2015. You've got shooting star, you've got high wave spinning tops, you've got hangman, you've got doji candles, you've got a little breakaway gap on the most recent bearish divergence on this particular stock. Please, if you're holding Disney and you're a trader, you don't know what you're doing, please mitigate risk. Put in a stop even below, even Monday's candlestick right here, because there's a very good chance that, we may be even setting up some form of a head and shoulders. You've got the left shoulder, you have the head, you have the right shoulder, you can have the neckline, a leaning neckline, something like this coming through here. Really the inflection point on Disney is coming in about $103, $102 a share. Pay attention to that. I think I've just removed my annotations. No, it's okay. I just need to bring that to your attention. The same is true for Gilead. You can see we've had a bullish entry at 103.53 on or in the event that we break out of this symmetrical triangle. Also on the bearish side, we had one at 95.13. This was taking into consideration this swing low, and this swing low right here. It's very interesting because you can see last week we had the potential breakdown. We have what we call a hammer candlestick at support, a quick snap back to the upside. That's why we placed our trigger where we did, and we mitigated the risk of this long lower wick right here. Since then, we've got 2 or 3 spinning top candlesticks. We actually have a doji coming in on Monday. It looks as if we are actually retesting this pivot. So if you extend this pivot to the right, you can see the breakdown, the retest, and is about to roll over again. So if Gilead moves below $95.13, a very good shorting opportunity on this particular stock down to these lower levels, coming in about $88 to begin with. So a nice little $8 move on that particular stock. Moving back into the discussion on divergence, have a look. Surprise, HD. You've got the gap up, you've got the exhaustion fill. You've tried to push higher again, but look at the MACD. It's saying no. RSI is saying no, and the stochastics again is saying no on the daily. We've made that high, albeit somewhat relative and very small compared to that gap up in February, but you need to pay attention to this divergence. It takes even months for divergence to play out to get the close, but once you get that close below that most recent swing low and you establish the first lower low reference to the most recent higher low, that is almost a 1, 2, 3 trend reversal. We're not there yet. We're almost moving sideways, but we're more or less stuck moving sideways at the moment. On HD, you can see again where volume's really coming out of this stock. It looks like another bear flag, which is set up on a lot of individual stocks. I haven't even referenced the discussion of bear flags yet. It looks like a bear flag, for instance, on Gilead as well on the retest of that breakout or breakdown. But a lot of these sort of signals are coming together. It just takes time as a swing trader. It takes time as an active market participant to actually see the follow through, pardon me, on these stocks. You can see the signals and the alert signals from a mile away. It's saying, look, do not do this, or at least be somewhat skeptical of this move, but you can see really the breakdown on the horizon. It just takes time to actually reach the horizon or that point you're looking at in the distance until it all materializes and comes together. HD is another prime example. It's something which I've been following for a long time now, and I've been bringing this to your attention, these 5 stocks, these 5 stocks to your attention, for the better part of a few weeks now. It's going to stay the same, and I'm going to obviously update you as they form, what I'm talking about right now, and as they play out as we expect. For instance, on Starbucks a couple of weeks ago, we were speaking about, again, the bear flag set up right here. Look at this. You got the breakdown coming in on Tuesday and Wednesday last week. Look at the last 3 days on Starbucks from this particular candlestick to today's close. Does this not look like this all over again? Let me just put a question mark right there. Does that not look like another bear flag setting up on Starbucks? Again, have a look at the divergence. Let me bring up the right indicators for you right here. Whoop, let me bring up my pen drawing tool. There we go. You've got the high in price, you've got the lower high in MACD across all three of the oscillators. This is saying, look, be careful. I even referenced, again, this particular candlestick. Let me show you right here. You can go back and reference it. That candlestick right there, that engulfing candlestick after the shooting star, after the earnings gap up, saying, whoop, I understand there are a lot of perma bulls in Starbucks. Given the most recent forward-looking guidance of their annual report, everyone is so optimistic. And a lot of people, a lot of traders, a lot of investors are getting to that complacent level. Have a look at my previous video because this is really tying in the overall sentiment shift, not taking place or taking place in individual stocks, but also in the broader markets. You really need to be careful, because it wouldn't surprise me to see, for instance, a 3, 4, 5, 600 point down day on the Dow Jones Industrial Average sometime over the next 2 weeks. This is going to translate to lows in Starbucks back around that $90 area to begin with, even as low as the open retest of this window coming in about $86. It may sound, again, like something which is almost impossible. Have a look at the dwindling volume. You see the market bounce on Monday. Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ all shot up relatively well. Look at the lackluster volume coming into Starbucks on Monday. If that isn't cautionary enough, given, of course, this chart pattern, this particular candlestick, the failure of the continuation to the upside on the earnings report, you really need to have a reality check when it comes to these individual stocks. Target is the only stock of this list which is somewhat continued since we last spoke about. Let me just show you this in greater detail. I'll zoom back in. Why are you doing this to me? Let me zoom back in and show you what I'm talking about right here as humbly as possible. I put out a video on these two particular candlesticks right here, two shooting star candlesticks. Since then, we have rallied, albeit somewhat minimally. Here we are at $82 when the recording was put out. We got as high as $83, so we literally made $1. People again, jumping up and down saying target's going to 100. Look what happens today. One black crow candlestick pattern. Volume isn't really there, but this is a very, very strong reversal type of candlestick on the daily. I mean, if this doesn't at least move sideways or flat out roll over the coming 2 weeks, I'd be very, very surprised for target. I understand that obviously that there is a bullish trend intact. We're above the 10, we're above the 20, we're above the 50 exponential moving averages. But look at this divergence. This is true divergence right here. The other divergences which I've referenced on these other stocks have been, really made up of 1 or 2 months, mostly 1 month. But have a look at this. Since the most recent breakout, going back to November, December last year, we established the swing high in the MACD up here. Now, although the bullish trend has continued higher, look at where the MACD is relative to the breakout which occurred in December. Can you see how this has transpired over a period of about 4 to 5 months instead of 1 month, and how we have struggled, really struggled to push up on any conviction and really, forming or trading higher in the face of bearish candlesticks? It really looks like the price of target is exhausted. I'm sorry to say it has to be said, because right now there are so many signals out there, not only on this stock, not only on the stocks I've referenced, but also on other stocks and other markets, which are saying, please be careful trading long. That's really the intention, the purpose of this video. Please do not get suckered into, the face value of these stocks at the current levels. Trust me, I have been a perma bull and I love bullish trends. Don't get me wrong, they're the most profitable period to be a swing trader, even a day trader or an investor, but all good things come to an end. And right now, a lot of people aren't paying attention to the technical signals, which are really ushering in caution. And they're not really factoring in sentiment, which is taking place. These markets are exhausted. They truly are. They need a correction. They need a healthy correction. And a correction would be somewhat bullish for the overall markets. It can allow them to reset, come back down to more neutral levels, and then for the next, buy the dip type of scenario to take place. I do believe the buy the dip scenario is going to be at much lower prices, albeit maybe in 5 or 6 weeks time, we may be at those lower prices, and our perspective on the market will be forward looking and taking into consideration the next type of bullish upswing. But at this particular moment in time, don't get suckered in. All of the noob money right now, or the novice money, or the people who think it is, the lowest risk to be buying at these particular levels is, given that we are in the 6th run of a bull trend, now's the time to be buying, right? It's really the later. This is the time really to be selling, distributing your positions, banking the profit which you have made, and setting yourself up for the retracement. That is where the smart money, that's where the informed money is at this particular moment in time. I am simply sharing that with you. Whether you take it or not, or look into it anymore, that's your decision. But you'll see what happens on these stocks over the next, 1 to 2 weeks at least. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. I can say this as humbly as possible, and I do say this as humbly as possible. This is my own opinion, but you'll see what happens over the next 10 trading sessions or so. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. Have a great Tuesday evening anyway. Email me success@pivotpoint-trading.com. I'll see you most likely on Wednesday for another market update. I'm not sure if I'll reference these stocks. I will. If in fact they make the move on Wednesday's trading session, time will tell. Until then, have a great evening. All the best. Goodbye.